Hello and welcome to our weekly class. This is Sondra Baras and I'm talking today about the Torah portion Re'eh, which means behold. The beginning of the Torah portion talks about the giving of the blessing and the curse on Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal, which we actually talked about some weeks ago, so I'm not going to go back to that. But I would like to focus on a new subject that it comes forward in this portion that we have not really seen before in a serious way. And that is the temple. The mention of the temple in this portion, it's just all over the place. And what is this temple and how do we see it expressed in this portion? So we're going to take a little look at that. Let's start with Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 4. The beginning of this chapter is laying forth various laws. Like so much of this speech, we're still in this main speech of Moses in Deuteronomy, so much of which has a series of laws and regulations. And then we have in verse 4, well, just before we have the requirement that they should destroy the sacred places of idol worship. And we talk about the fact that where are these idol worships? They're on every high mountain and under every fresh tree. And in that context, we see verse 4. You shall not do so to the eternal your God, but unto the place which the eternal your God shall choose out of all your tribes to put his name there, even after his residence, shall you inquire, and there you shall come. And there you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and heave offerings of your hand and your vows and your freewill offerings and the firstlings of your herds and of your flocks. Well, here there's a very definite contrast between the idol worship, which is on every mountain and under every tree, as opposed to what God is requiring, that there be one central place of worship, and only there will we bring sacrifices. Now, we have seen much mention of sacrifices in the past. We have mention of sacrifices throughout Leviticus. If you wanted to give the name to Leviticus, you could say the book of sacrifices. That's so much in that book. We've seen it also in the book of Numbers. And here again, but here we have a new element that is being introduced, and that is the role of the temple as a central place where God is going to choose it. And he says he's going to choose it from all your tribes. In other words, not just the idea of building a temple is something that God wants, but he will also choose the place. And if all the land has been divided among the tribes, he's going to choose the place from within one of the tribes where that temple will stand. And actually, the Temple Mount, of course, is something that we only discover where that is in King David's time when he purchases the threshing floor from the Jebusite, and that is actually located right on the border between Benjamin and Judah.
To watch this program in its entirety, go to www.glc.us.com or simply click the link below.